Hello, hello, my name is Merc. I know I'm new to all of this and still just a lowly peasant PNG tuber, so it's not like anyone cares about what I have to say, but I believe that an intrinsic part of social media is saying something which is then later weaponized against you in an awkward, get noted sort of way, and as I've never used social media prior to starting YouTube, I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do in order to stockpile ammo for others to use against me, and while political drama is all well and good, what about totally meaningless ideology regarding niche subcultures? Yes, that will do nicely, I think. Now, we all know that any award show is just a place for people to pointlessly stroke their egos. Any actor, director, or even streamer already has a massive fan base to compliment them incessantly, and yet they also need an award to physically touch for some reason, to stroke for some reason, to caress lovingly in the wee hours of the morn for some reason. And the women have the internet to serve as a medium to exchange their pride, dignity, and honor for ego, fame, and fortune, and yet they strip down and use award shows as an advertisement for their R18 content, as if competing to see who can look the cheapest. And none of us little people care. But I do feel the need to point out that it is an award show, which requires categories that make some sort of sense. And this is why gatekeeping is sort of important. The Streamer Awards had another award, not really the point of this, but another award called the Sapphire Award, which was for the best, and the usage of the word best here was a massive mistake on their part, the best female or marginalized streamer. Their reasoning was that it's a male-dominated industry, but it's not really an industry. Even stretching the word's meaning, it doesn't really encapsulate whatever a streaming site is, and streaming itself is not gatekept. It's free. The only reason it's allegedly dominated by males is because women were never brainwashed to enjoy video games, manga, anime, or whatever like males were. That's the same reason so few females play games. That's also the reason the vast majority of the viewer base for streamers are males. It's also why many women get popular, as they are a drop of fresh water in the saltiest of oceans. So this male-dominated industry is presented in a negative light. It's sort of like self-condemning the way they've written it. And yet for women, it's a massive boon. A boon that the marginalized people, the minorities, have no claim over. And yet they're in the same category. But the point isn't really about their incredibly poor choice of words. It's about the inclusion of minorities, along with females. What if the minority is also a female? Well, now they have an advantage over normie females, right? Isn't that a conflict of interest? What happens then? What minorities are we even talking about here? Black streamers? Amputees? Vtubers are a minority, right? So them too? You mean LGBTQ? Asexuals? Non-binaries? Are they saying that females themselves are a minority? Because a lot of mainstream politics do that, and they're saying that it's a male-dominated industry, aren't they? So is that fair? Is that what they're doing? Is it fair to throw them all in the same bracket? An e-girl wearing Nekomimi is a furry. A man wearing a fursuit is a furry. Someone who wants to smash a Vaporeon is a furry. They're all furries, but they're nothing alike. Like I said, this is why gatekeeping is important. I do not believe that superimposing eyes and a mouth over what appears to be a picture of a peanut with a warp deformer on it is fair to call VTubing and allow it into the VTubing award section. I mean, what's next? Is Neurosama a VTuber? Oh, sure, they have an Animu avatar, and they're animated, but they're not even alive. What about a flesh tuber? They aren't actually meat, you know. They're lights on a screen. That's virtual. So they're a VTuber, right? I'm not defending the aesthetic here. I know some people, mostly the anti-VTuber crowd it seems, but some people make it a sticking point to say that VTubing has to be anime. I think it's just a straw man. I'm not even sure if it is a straw man because I don't know if anyone's actually demanding that VTubing be anime style as like a real actual argument. I don't really care, but I think this whole superimposed thing is not really fair to say. The point is, a drawn model animates in response to the camera, very different from superimposing your face on the screen. Rather, the point is that if you allow everything that isn't flesh tubing to access the VTuber awards, there's no point in having VTuber awards to begin with. Actually, yeah, there's no point in having VTuber awards to begin with. Or streamer awards, for that matter. It's nothing more than a popularity contest, and the winners are always going to be the ones who fit certain criteria. And since this all plays out like some cliche high school prom scene from a movie, we know exactly what those criteria are, don't we? At the very least, they could get their shite straight, though, don't you think? Categorizing anything as a VTuber, putting marginalized people in the same award slots as females. Personally, I don't even agree with giving out the same award to the same person more than once. Iron Mouse had won Best VTuber 3 times in a row, but see, the thing is, this isn't directing or acting like in the Oscars or whatever. This is streaming. It's not necessarily the quality of what you produce, it's a popularity contest, plain and simple. Obviously, that means she's popular, and people will be enraged by me saying this, but it doesn't change the reality of it. And the reality of it is that streamers don't get less popular. Even if they abuse dogs, even if they sell sex with every second of their stream, even if they incite or glorify violence against those they disagree with, they stay just as popular. They even get more popular. So streamers, the same streamers, will end up winning the same awards every year. It's meaningless, and the only way to make it even slightly fair is just to disallow it, which seems fair to me. The fallout of this is that a few high-profile names make asses out of themselves, which is just par of the course when interacting with people all day long, every single day, so I don't honestly blame them too much. It's typical human nature, and if I was under a microscope constantly, I'm sure that I would have some embarrassing comments on record just like them, with both XQC and Burnt Peanut himself going down the road of accusing half or more VTubers of being creepy old men pretending to be girls.
Fan base being nothing but disgusting towards Iron Mouse after she defended you publicly.
No, good sir. No. No. You see that? That's a VTuber right there. Listen up, 40-year-old man in a 15-year-old anime 2D VTubing suit. Listen up. Listen real close. Listen real close. It is not my community.
Let's be honest. Most VTubers use VTubing as an excuse not show themselves because they are fucking disgusting. I'm not being weird, I'm not discriminating. The vast majority of VTubers would love to be on camera, but they're fucking disgusting. And that's okay. It's okay. That's perfectly fine. But it's come on, bro. You know what I mean?
Say anything bad to Iron Mouse. Maybe here, there, maybe some light comments. But I've heard she's been getting death threats. I've heard people have been saying disgusting things. And let me tell you who that is. That's not the fun-loving bungulator sitting back on his couch watching the stream for a couple hours of work. You know who that is?
Yo, the bungulators go into the lobbies, steal my gear, and fuck my wife. Okay? Weird.
Take a quick
weird, man.
Community that is. Guess which community that is. It's the community that can't handle that she congratulated us for winning.
I'm just kidding, guys. I don't have a wife.
May I repeat? The 40-year-old men cosplaying as 15-year-old anime girls. That's who's doing that.
True.
I swear it. I would place every dollar I've ever made on it. That's how confident I am. 1,000%. I'm telling you, they've dug a hole. If people didn't like VTubers before, get ready for a fucking wave, pal. Get ready for a fucking wave. Because that was, honestly, I know it's on all the VTubers, and I kind of feel bad for the good ones. I kind of feel bad for the ones that congratulated us. Because half that fucking community just made them look like shit.
Iron Mouse virtue signaled while admitting that her protection of Burnt Peanut wasn't really to protect him, but rather her projecting herself as him, as she also got hate when she won the award 1 or 3 times and is clearly still smoldering over it.
I think for me, I do admit maybe I could have worded my tweet differently. I feel like people got mad that I said that I was cringing, but I was just being honest. It's cringe. It's cringe to see people fling blind hatred at people, and it's strange to me. And it just reminded me of all the times this whole thing with Peanut and seeing everybody like get mad that he won the VTuber award. I just felt like I was being transported back to when I won Creator of the Year and everybody was flinging shit at me, and I'm just like, bro, Yo, I just
Hey
won an
Mouse,
award,
know
dude.
What
What
the
the
baby
fuck?
cries and let's party in the
Holy
old
shit.
west or in Space Nodders.
It's the same shit. It's the same exact shit. And it's just like I can't see myself doing that to people. I just can't. I don't give a shit if somebody shit talks me and if somebody's mean to me and if somebody makes fun of me. Just because they're mean to me, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be mean back to them. I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking weirdo. I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking freak. Iron Mouse ruined Vtubers. Oh my god. Dude, there's this one post that I'm just like, I read it and I'm just like, you would think that I don't know. It's just like some of these people, oh my god, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Crazy. It's crazy to me. No. I'm not gonna comment. I said what I said and there's no taking back what I said. I mean, I could have worded it a different way and maybe been more positive with my post, but I was expressing my feelings. And honestly, no matter what I said, people are gonna say shit.
And of course, a great deal of juicy popcorn drama from various smaller streamers, reactionaries, and so forth. A solid 8 out of 10 experience all around. Could have used a little more butter, but generally it was some enjoyable, pointless drama. The fun kind. Like watching a critique of a bad movie and then watching the movie just to enjoy how bad it is. If you really stop and look at all of this, it's nothing more grievous than a bunch of adults who know that they said something they shouldn't have and are deflecting by blaming everyone else, complaining about toxicity, claiming they aren't like all the toxic people, and so forth and so on. There's not even a lot of aim shots being fired here that I can see. It seems more like blind spray and pray from behind cover. I haven't watched every second of every person's stream, but based on the smell, I would guess that a lot of the smoke is from chemicals being dumped on the fire by third parties. Yeah, it rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, I bristle over it a little bit, but ultimately, I think it's better to sort of endorse this kind of thing as banter, rather than some bitter Hatfields and McCoys style feud. Yes, it will follow in your wake, and people will bring it up later in an awkward get-noted moment, but that's just society. We all have trash takes, and we need to live with those who have trash takes. There's always going to be someone saying Jurassic World and She-Hulk are actually good movies. We call them a French word, and we move on. No big deal. That said, there are people, especially younger people, who will be more flustered by the anti-VTuber and anti-weeb sentiments. It's just unsolicited advice, but I do think people should be careful with what they say. At the very least, you should measure your words in situations like this, as it's only going to make you look bad to insult an entire subculture for the sake of a paper-thin deflector shield. It's always been acceptable to bash on minorities for things like skin color, eye shape, sexuality, etc., but that changes as they cease to be minorities and grow in number. No, it's not actually related to wokeness, as many people think. It's to do with backlash, and that backlash eventually grows enough to be worried about as the minority ceases to be so minor. It was, when I was younger, okay to bash on people for being a weeb, but now you see this massive backlash you get for doing so, indicating very clearly that it is no longer acceptable. The subculture was always immensely popular, but now enough people are openly weebs that you simply can't get away with it anymore. And because there's nothing wrong with being a weeb, I'd say that's a good thing. If you can't see 5 minutes into the future, I would also warn those using furry as a catch-all insult, as there are a gargantuan amount of furries, excluding Pokemon, Zootopia, My Little Pony, or anything else outside the realms of streaming. You can get a quick overview of the normalcy of furries just by checking the social media followings of corpo-tubers like Hololive or Nijisanji or Phase Connect or whatever, which, even considering bleed over between the fan base, you're probably talking about tens of millions of furries just from that alone. Add in everything else, and there's no doubt that billions
and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions
of people are furries. The point is that pretty much everyone is a furry to some degree, so bashing on them with blanket statements will eventually catch up to you, and you too will receive your awkward get-noted moment. And, well, all of that's just to say that award shows are dumb AF and a superimposed hybrid picture isn't VTubing. Gatekeep Lucky Gummy! Anyway, thanks for watching.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.